Hello and welcome to my review of the Deathwing Terminators for Dark Angels for Warhammer 40,000 from Games Workshop. Now, currently the only way to get these is through the Deathwing Assault box set. There might still be a few of these sets out in the wild. You can pick up the Deathwing Knights separately for £42.50, but they are not these Terminators. If you really want to get these Terminators, you're going to have to pay £40 for the Terminator squad and then £21 for the Dark Angels upgrade sprue. So £61. I'd like to think that Games Workshop will release this Terminator squad set with just the Terminator part of the Dark Angels upgrade sprue. That would be really cool, and especially if they did it for, you know, the same price as the Knights, £42.50. I'm not sure whether they'll do that or whether they'll just sell it for 50. I don't know, but it would be cool if we could actually get, you know, these Terminators with the Terminator upgrade sprue. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent about how to actually get this set, but I think it is important. In terms of the structure, the review follows as usual. So we'll look at each one of these Deathwing Terminators up close. I'll go through each one. Then we'll look at all of the spare parts, and my lord, we do get a lot of spare parts, way more than the Knight set. Then I'll go through some size comparisons with some Deathwing Knights and the standard Terminators, although they're the same size. And then finally at the end of the review, I'll go through all of their rules. So let's kick off this review by looking at these miniatures up close. Just like with the Deathwing Knights, you kind of get 7 miniatures in this set. That's hopefully if they include the Dark Angels upgrade sprue in it, but you also get one Watcher in the Dark right here. Quite cool. My own belief system is that these have some kind of their own language, like Jawas from Star Wars. I could just imagine this one running up to a Deathwing with this book going Wootini. Anyway, then you've got the Teleport Homer, which I think is exactly the same, which is pretty much the same as the one in the Deathwing Knight set, although it is not quite as erect, if I want to say that. There is a skull on there, but the actual detail and things of the Teleport Homer is exactly the same. It's just at a slightly different angle and it's got slightly different rubble underneath. But I think this is the exact same one as you get in the normal Terminator box set, so nothing new there. In terms of the Terminators, you've got one Terminator Sergeant with some Dark Angels extras. So with the upgrade sprue, you get a different looking Stormbolter with the winged sword and some feathers. You get a really cool looking power sword. I mean, that is fantastic, isn't it? You also get a different shoulder pauldron. You get different tassets, like specific Dark Angels tassets. You get a little dagger. You get a Dark Angel specific chest piece and a Dark Angel specific helmet, and a Dark Angels specific little shield thing. I think you get 2 in the upgrade set, and I think I used the other one on that one, so we'll have a look at that in a moment. So there is enough to turn them sort of into Deathwing Terminators, definitely. The sprue does have enough shoulder pauldrons at least to bump up the unit, but it doesn't have lots and lots of the different heads there. My nails are really dirty. If anybody's on nail watch, just been cleaning my bike, so apologies. Anyway, that's the Sergeant. I've got this one, which is one of my favourite poses, you know, stomping forward, similar to the Deathwing Knight. I know I'm giving you a size comparison straight away, sort of. I can't make up my mind which is my favourite. They're both so cool, aren't they? Anyway, this Terminator, sort of side glance, firing the Stormbolter as he's stomping along. If you've noticed already, I've equipped all of them with chain fists. The second unit that's in this box set, I won't be equipping them with chain fists, just to give you an idea of what the two sort of melee weapons look like. This one, I was on the fence about, you know, having this Terminator point, but in the end I decided to have him pointing, so he's pointing. I've given all of them the shields except for the plasma cannon Deathwing Terminator. Not sure why. Maybe I felt it didn't really work with that one, but yeah, there is that. Then this one, again, sort of moving forward a little bit, or bracing. I don't know why it needs to brace, he's in tactical dreadnought armor, but I've used the Dark Angel's little shield there, and that's it, and the shoulder pauldron. So you're kind of getting two Dark Angel specific pieces per Terminator. And then this one, this is where it really kicks off, the plasma cannon. I think it's worth the upgrade sprue just for the plasma cannon. It's so awesome looking. And then I've used the Dark Angel shoulder pauldron as well. But yeah, very, very cool weapon. It's just awesome to see a Terminator with a plasma cannon. Yeah, they look cool with assault cannons and cyclone missile launchers, but to just be walking around with a plasma cannon, it's just so cool. Anyway, so that's all 5 of the Deathwing Terminators. Let's have a look at all these spare parts then that Super's been banging on about. Here they are, right here. So usual suspects from the main kit, like you will have the assault cannon left over, you will have the jigsaw Rubik's Cube anomaly that I call the cyclone missile launcher, with all those multiple parts that it comes in. You get the plain casing for the power fists if you didn't want to use the actual chain fists. You get the standard power sword, and I'm not being funny, but this power sword that comes with the normal Terminators compared to the Dark Angels one, it is a bit of a joke. I mean, the Dark Angels one is so cool, and I can only imagine what Games Workshop have in store for us for other chapters, hopefully. We have this, which is part of the Flamer, Heavy Flamer. I don't know whether I use the Heavy Flamer for the other Terminators. We've got a few more Greaves and shoulder pauldrons, like the standard ones that I didn't use, spare Stormbolter, spare chain fist that I didn't use because of the poses. I think this is 3 different chess pieces that I didn't use. So it's quite cool that you get a few spare. Loads of these icons and things. I'll probably use these in the next set that I build. In terms of heads, wow, I can count 2 helmeted heads that are spare that I did not use, including one of the ones with the targeting optics. I did use a targeting optic for the plasma. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 helmetless heads. Oh, there was a third helmeted head that I missed. So 5 helmetless heads here. So you can have them all bald Terminators. You can have a full, oh no, this guy's got some hair. So most of them you can have bald then. Terminators if you wish, and a few other bits and pieces like tassets and you know, casing for the flamer, fuel tank for the flamer. So yeah, a fair number of parts. I don't know whether they're more useful than the Knight set, but it really depends on whether you've been gifted some Terminators or some Terminator bodies. Then you could probably make use of these parts, or if you can get a load of Terminator bodies for cheap, then you can, you know, just create a new squad, or, you know, have or build another cyclone missile launcher and assault cannon, so you can have, you know, so you can just add them into a unit if you're missing a second one of those weapons. Size comparisons then, well, we'll kick off with other Dark Angels units. So straight away, you know, the Knights. I again, I can't make up my mind which is my favourite out of the Knights or the actual Terminators. They're both very, very cool looking. You know, these Terminators are just classic for me, whereas these, you know, brilliant Dark Angels. It's just the poses. I feel like even the poses for the normal Terminators are in better poses than the Knights, which is a bit of a shame. But in terms of size, they work well, they play well together. You know, you're not going to have any issues teaming the Deathwing Knights and the Deathwing Terminators together. I'll just give you an example with Belial right here. Belial also works well with the Deathwing Terminators. If you wanted to go for them, bit of a cheaper option. I think you can actually get Belial and these Terminators for the same points cost as the Deathwing Knights themselves. I think the Deathwing Knights are almost 300 points. So that's one way of looking at it. Compared to the new Terminator Captain, or Captain in Terminator armour, that's where they stand up. He is a little bit bigger just because of that scenic base, but again, he works quite well with those, especially with that helmet, a helmeted version. And that's if you didn't want to go for the, you know, bombastic, you know, very, very high Leviathan Terminator Captain that doesn't have a head. So there is that. Compared to Lion L. Johnson, right here, yeah, I'm not sure he works that well with them. He definitely works better with the Knights, but it's a comparison nonetheless. Compared to standard Terminators, so here's one of the ones from the Leviathan kit. I think they are exactly the same size, no issues there. Again, you know, you could pop out the plasma and put in the Cyclone missile launcher. You won't really have any issues other than you're missing like a Dark Angel's pauldron, but you know, there is that. And then a comparison with my three usual minis. So as usual, we've got the Space Marine on the left, Slime Marbo in the middle, and then Primaris on the right. So as you can see, normal Space Marine is barely up to the chest height. Slime Marbo is again chest height-ish, and then a Primaris is only a little bit shorter, just a little bit. But these Terminators are much bulkier. So if you are running any standard intercessors or even Gravis intercessors, they'll go very well with these size-wise. Even running the new Terminators with the old Space Marines might work. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Deathwing Terminators. This is my first experience of them, much like it was for the Deathwing Knights. So you'll find their rules in the brand new 10th edition Dark Angels supplement, and their points cost is 205 points. Like I said, you can get 5 for 205 points and 10 for 410. If you picked up the Deathwing Terminator Squad and Belial, that would set you back 290 points, which is exactly the same points cost as 5 Deathwing Knights. If you equip the Deathwing Knight Master with a relic weapon, and the other 4 have power weapons, you're looking at 26 attacks in total. With the Deathwing Terminator Squad, if you gave them all power fists, you're looking at 16 attacks, and then the extra 6 attacks with Belial, you're looking at 22. So you are getting more attacks with the Deathwing Knights for the same points cost. You're getting 21 wounds though with the Deathwing Terminators and Belial, as opposed to 20, so you're getting 1 extra wound. Arguably the Terminators are more versatile and kind of have stronger weapons with the power fists, and they have some range weaponry with the storm bolters and a plasma cannon. So their stat line reads movement of 5 inches, toughness 5, save of 2+ with an invulnerable save of 4+, 3 wounds each, leadership 6+, objective control 1. The unit composition is 1 Deathwing Sergeant and between 4 and 9 Deathwing Terminators. The Deathwing Sergeant is equipped with a Storm Bolter and Power Weapon. Every Deathwing Terminator is equipped with Storm Bolter and Power Fist. Any number of Deathwing Terminators can each have their power fist replaced with one chain fist. For every 5 models in this unit, one Deathwing Terminator can replace its Storm Bolter with one of the following: 1 Assault Cannon, 1 Heavy Flamer, 1 Plasma Cannon, or 1 Storm Bolter and Cyclone Missile Launcher. This unit can be equipped with 1 Watcher in the Dark. So their ranged weaponry then, might as well just talk about the standard Terminator ranged weaponry. So you can give them an assault cannon, which has devastating wounds. It's 24-inch range, 6 attacks, ballistic skill 3 plus strength 6, AP 0, damage 1. The Cyclone Missile Launcher has 2 profiles, a frag or crack. The frag is a blast weapon. It's a range of 36 inches, 2d6 attacks, ballistic skill 3 plus strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. The crack profile is the same range at 36 inches. It's 2 attacks, ballistic skill 3 plus, but the strength is 9, AP minus 2, damage d6. The Heavy Flamer, it ignores cover and it's torrent. Its range is only 12 inches. Its attacks is d6. Ballistic skill is non-applicable because it's a template weapon. Strength is 5, AP minus 1, damage 1. The Plasma Cannon has 2 profiles. You've got the standard, which is a blast weapon, which is a 36-inch range. Attacks D3, ballistic skill 3 plus, strength 7, AP minus 2, damage 1. It's very nice. Or you can go for a supercharge profile, which is a blast weapon and it's hazardous. Range is, again, is 36 inches. Attacks D3, ballistic skill 3 plus, strength is 8 now, and damage and AP is minus 3 and damage is 2. And then the classic Storm Bolter, it's a rapid fire 2, range 24 inches, attacks 2, ballistic skill 3 plus, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. So a lot of ranged weapons to choose from, as you know, compared to the Deathwing Knights that have 0. Melee weapons. So you've got the standard Power Fist, which is a melee weapon, attacks 3, weapon skills 3 plus, strength 8, AP minus 2, and damage 2. You can upgrade that to a Chain Fist, which is anti-vehicle 3 plus. You've got 3 attacks the same, but the weapon skill drops to 4 plus, and the strength is 8, AP minus 2, damage 2. And then the power weapon, which is what the sergeant's equipped with, it's got 4 attacks, weapon skill 3 plus, strength 5, AP minus 2, and damage 1. A little bit different to the power weapons that the Knights have. Their power weapons have 1 extra attack, so they get 5 attacks each. Their weapon skill is 2 plus instead of the 3 plus, and the strength of the weapon is a 6 instead of a 5. So you are getting more attacks, easier to hit, and higher strength with the Deathwing Knights. Abilities, they have core ability, Deep Strike, and a faction ability, Oath of Moment. They have their Teleport Homer, which of course, as you know, once per battle, you can target the unit with Rapid Ingress Stratagem for 0 command points. Then you can set the models up within 3 inches of the token, but not within 9 inches of any enemy models. They have a specific unit ability. They also have another specific unit ability called Deathwing. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, you can ignore any or all modifiers to that attack's ballistic skill or weapon skill characteristics, and or to the hit roll. In addition, each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets your Oath of Moment target, add 1 to the hit roll. Very, very nice. That may well be overlooked. That's a very, very big ability rule. I wish that Deathwing Knights had something like that. All they've got is Inner Circle. War gear abilities. Watcher in the Dark works exactly the same as the Deathwing Knights. So once in the battle, in any phase, you can summon a Watcher in the Dark. And then the models in this unit have a Feel No Pain of 4 plus against any mortal wounds. Very useful for survivability. Attached unit. If a character unit from your army with the leader ability can be attached to a Terminator squad, it can be attached to this unit instead. And the keywords: Infantry, Imperium, Terminator, Deathwing, Deathwing Terminator squad, Adeptus Astartes, Dark Angels. So there you go, a very nice Dark Angels unit. They definitely live up to the hype compared to your regular Terminators. Their stat line is exactly the same. You know, they still have the same number of wounds and save, and they've got their Teleport Homer. Their Deathwing ability is a bit more of an upgrade to Fury of the First, which is what normal Terminators have. They also have that Watcher in the Dark, which adds to their survivability, and they're able to equip a Plasma Cannon instead of the typical free you know, heavy weapons that normal Terminators can have. But what do you guys think of the Deathwing Terminators? Have they lived up to your expectations? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be good to hear from you. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.